My name is Meera Hoffman, and in this video we're going to be going over some yoga poses that you can use to help relieve back pain. In particular, this video is going to focus on some techniques that are really targeted for your low back, but you're going to feel great all over after doing these techniques. So we'll begin by coming onto all fours into cat-cow, Marjaranasana, and Bitalasana. So we'll inhale, dropping the stomach, raising the head, looking up. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone, curving the shoulders, rounding the spine, letting the head come to hang. So moving really slowly, taking some nice deep inhalations here. Really allowing yourself to feel that movement in the low back. And also in the rest of your spine. As you exhale and come into cat pose, just really relaxing the shoulders and neck. You can turn the head from side to side to really accentuate that relaxation. And throughout your practice today, a couple words of suggestion. Allowing your breath to guide your movement will facilitate the synchronicity and stillness that you can achieve through your practice. So slowly exhaling to round into cat pose, tucking the tailbone, rounding the shoulders. And inhaling, coming into cow, dropping the abdomen, lifting the head. So the other tip that I have for you is to really listen to your body and move slowly. So we don't want to exacerbate any areas that aren't feeling good or cause any injuries. So really place a lot of responsibility on yourself to listen to your body and to give it what it needs. So if anything doesn't feel good, please don't do it. If you need to make any modifications or changes or need help with that, please just write a comment and I'm happy to help you out. We'll take one more last round of our cat-cow. So curling under and inhale, coming into cow. We'll exhale, coming down into child's pose, Balasana, just for a moment. Decompressing the spine by extending the hands and fingers. You can walk the fingers out just a little bit to lengthen the spine a bit more. And in this variation, I have my knees kind of splayed outwards to make room for the abdomen. But if it feels comfortable for you, you're welcome to keep the knees together and curl over that way. We'll inhale, slowly rolling up to come up to a seated pose. And we're going to swing the legs around, extending them in front of us to come into Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. So untucking the flesh from underneath the sits bones, the bones in your bottom. We'll inhale, reaching the hands up towards the sky, toes are pulled back towards the head, and exhale, bending from the waist and then the mid back and then the upper back. We're going to go through a flow here, so not resting still. We'll inhale, coming up, again, exhale, folding once more from the waist and then the mid back and the upper back. One more flow through our flow, inhaling, rolling back up, extending the arms up. Exhale, really reaching out. So this time allowing the hands to come down wherever they are. Maybe you're reaching at the top of the shins, or you can reach down towards the ankle, or maybe even to the feet, wherever you're at today. Just accepting your body and not pushing it too hard. We're going to make a few small adjustments while we're in this pose. So one of the things that I like to do is do an inhale and make a micro extension with the spine. So hands stay where they are this time. And then on your next exhale, just seeing if you can bend and fold forward just a little bit more. Again, reminding yourself to have compassion for your body, not pushing it too far. Enjoying taking some nice deep inhalations and exhalations as you relax into this fold. And then we'll take 3 more deep breaths in this fold, just letting yourself completely relax into it, letting gravity take hold. So no intentional movement here other than just the breath. And letting the face relax, the shoulders relax. And feeling the stretch all the way into your low back, or maybe you feel it in the hamstrings and calves. We're really focusing on opening up the back side of the body, which will help alleviate pain in those areas. And after your last exhalation, we'll inhale, extending the arms up, rolling out nice and slowly. And exhale, bringing the hands back, fingertips pointing away. We'll come into plank pose. So inhale, lifting the hips up, pushing into the hands and the feet. If you want, you can keep the head and gaze down towards the toes, or if it's comfortable, you can exhale and let the head fall back. 3 deep breaths here if you're able to hold it, otherwise come down whenever you need. And exhale, lowering the hips down. And then we'll slowly roll the spine down towards the ground as well. We'll bring the hands alongside of the body, palms facing down, and bend the legs so the feet make contact with the ground as well, preparing ourselves for Halasana bridge pose. Inhale, curling up, lifting the spine off the ground, lifting the hips up. Really engaging the muscles of the low back and the abdomen. And holding here again for 3 breaths. Inhaling nice and deeply. And exhaling fully and completely. So we're doing a nice simple bridge pose. We're not binding the hands underneath and wiggling the shoulders. It's not about opening the shoulders. It's really about strengthening your core and your low back with this move right now. And on your next exhalation, slowly curling the spine back towards the ground. We'll bring the knees into the chest and give ourselves a nice little hug and rock. One of the things that I really enjoy when my low back is being cranky is doing some nice spinal twist. So again, listening to your body and doing what feels good. We're going to extend the hands out to a T position and slowly lower the legs down to the left side, getting a nice twist in the spine. If you want, you can turn your head the opposite direction, so my knees are falling to the left. I'm gazing out towards my right hand and right fingertips and just trying to work that shoulder down to the ground. Breathing nice and deeply once again. I'm feeling this twist all the way through the spine. If you're really flexible, you may want to take a little variation here, and I'll show you that on the other side. So inhaling, coming back to center, And exhaling, if you're just doing our first variation, just exhaling the knees down to the right side, gazes to the left. If you tend to be more flexible, you may want to extend that bottom leg as you twist over it, and that's going to give you a deeper stretch. So choosing whichever variation feels best for your body. And once you're in the pose, really coming into your breath, breathing nice and slowly, enjoying the opening that you're getting through the low back and throughout the middle and upper spine as well. And we'll slowly come back to center, inhaling, bringing the legs back up. So that was Ardha Matsyendrasana, our little spinal twist. And we're going to rock back and forth, coming up to a seated position, and then slowly making our way into downward dog. So a couple notes before we push into downward dog. Really splay and spread your fingers out as wide as feels comfortable. You don't want to kind of force them apart. But get a nice wide stance in your fingers, and then as you curl your toes under, we're going to shift the weight into our feet, coming off of our knees. Now as we push into downward dog, really extending and using the full surface of your palms to make contact with your mat. It's not about pushing on your heel of your hand or on the inner side of the hand or the outer side of the hand. See if you can really distribute that weight evenly throughout your fingers and palms. And then same thing with the feet. Can we balance the weight from the big toe through the pinky toe? Can we push into our heels? Maybe we need to walk the feet up just a little bit to bring the full surface of our foot into contact with the mat. Now, once we're here, let's do some fun little mini micro variations. So we can bend the right knee in. Might be a little bit hard to see in my little parachute pants. And now we're bringing the weight all the way into the left side. We can reverse this bicycle by bending the left knee in and extending the right. Using your breath to guide the movement, we'll go through a couple bicycle pumps. Moving with awareness and control. And when you're ready, we'll extend both feet back out. Now for some of you, this might be starting to get a little intense as far as the weight in your hands. So if you need to come down and rest in child's pose at any point, feel free. Or for those of you that may have some wrist issues, you can come onto your forearms as a way to still get a modified downward dog. This feels really nice and supported. So wherever you're at, if you're kind of in our modified downward dog, or if you're in a full downward dog, we're gonna bend both knees in and try and rotate to push the glutes up to the ceiling. And now extend the legs back out. And you notice with each one of these variations that we're doing, it's kind of targeting a little bit different area of our low back and our spine. Breathing nice and deeply here, just taking one more deep, full cycle of breaths. And then we're gonna inhale and step the right foot forward. So you can see I kind of helped my foot forward, kind of scooching it up, and I'm gonna drop the left knee and the left top of the foot, coming into a nice lunge here. So for this move, what we really want to focus on is opening up this left hip. Left hip is going to help open up the psoas, which is the counter muscle to your QL and your low back muscles. So sometimes people think, oh, my low back hurts, work on my low back. As a massage therapist and yoga instructor, you never want to forget about what's on the other side of that balance point. So we got the psoas muscle we really want to give some nice stretching to. A few variations here that you can explore and experiment with as you deepen into your practice. You can keep your hands on the ground, or if they can't quite reach, you can support them with blocks or come onto your fingertips if that feels comfortable. If you feel stable and want to explore more, you can bring your hands down onto that front knee. And from here, I have a lot of control on how deep I take the stretch. So maybe I'm not very flexible. I might just be right here. Maybe I'm having a day where, just not feeling as good, feeling a little bit tight. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit looser. I've been practicing really regularly every day. And I want to really open up this front hip. You can take it even deeper, bringing the hands up to a nice crescent. So wherever you are, again, just listening to your body. If this comes to too much, just coming to rest in the child's pose. We'll exhale the hands down, curl the left toes under. We'll step the right foot back. So I'm going to bicycle out and just kind of neutralize the hips. Maybe I even kind of sway them a little bit by directioning the knee that's bending in towards that opposite side. Got a nice little hip twist here. I feel like we're having a dance party on our mat. So now we're gonna reverse that and step the left foot forward. Again, helping it forward. So maybe you can only step here, lower that other knee, help scoot that foot forward. Right top of the foot comes down as well. And if this feels good, stay here. Or you're welcome to explore those variations. Maybe you want to come up, bringing your hands onto that front knee. So just breathing nice and deeply. And letting the weight sink into your hips. And if you feel comfortable, you can inhale and reach the hands up. Then a nice extension of that psoas. This feels so good if you sit at a desk or sit for long periods in general. This is going to be a great opener for you. And whenever you're ready, exhaling down. We'll curl the toes under and we'll step the left foot back. So again, bicycling out the legs. Having a nice little dance party. And then we're going to do a couple more variations. For this one, we're going to inhale the right leg up. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the outside of the right leg to the ground and drop the right or the left foot so the left top of the foot comes out. So we're going to be working our way down to the ground into pigeon pose. And you're welcome, if this feels comfortable, to stay here. If you feel like you're getting a nice opening and stretch on the outside of the hip, we're opening up the IT band. On the opposite leg, you might feel a stretch into your quads. So you can slowly start to lower down to the ground. Maybe you come onto your forearms, and this is, your stopping point. That's totally fine. Maybe you're feeling a little bit adventurous and flexible today, and you want to extend the arms all the way out in front of you. You can bend the head, bringing it down to the ground. Wherever you're at, allowing your awareness and focus to come into your breath. Imagine that you're sending your breath into those areas that are tight and inviting them to relax a little bit deeper. On your next inhalation, slowly starting to walk the hands back up if they're extended. Coming back into that pose. We'll curl the left toes under and we'll inhale, kicking the right leg all the way up. We'll do a nice little bend open, letting the folded leg open across the left side. And then exhale, bring the foot down to the ground. We'll pedal the feet out. We'll repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So inhale, extending the left leg up. And exhale, bringing the outside of the left leg to the ground. Top of the right foot comes out to the mat. And now we go into our variations. Maybe you're here. Maybe your forearms are on the ground. Or maybe you're completely folded forward. Whatever feels good to you, taking that variation, and then coming into your breath. Taking some nice, deep, long, relaxing inhalations and exhalations. And opening up that IT band and that low back. So the really intense opener. So only holding as long as feels comfortable. If you need to come out at any time, just inhaling and walking yourself back out. You can rest in child's pose. And slowly working to bring the hands back into our starting place. We'll inhale, curl the right toes under, send the left leg to the sky. Exhale, letting it fold open. Getting a nice little counter movement before bringing it back down to the mat. Do a little bicycling of the legs. And before slowly coming down into child's pose for just a moment. And then slowly coming to lay on our mat. So as you make your way down to the ground, we're going to come into Shalabhasana preparation, which is locust pose. We're not actually going to come into the pose, but we're just going to strengthen using that technique. So I'm going to bring my hands, palms facing down alongside of my body. And then from here, my chin is on the ground. I'm going to inhale and focus on just lifting one leg up into the sky. And exhale down. So really using the muscles of the back to lift that leg. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale down. I'm not really pushing into my hands per se. They're just there for stabilization. Inhale right. Exhale down. Inhale left. Not a lot of weight in that opposite leg either. Exhale left. So as I inhale my right leg up, I don't want to be like pushing all my weight onto my left side. Really is just a small movement of contracting the back to bring that leg up. Exhale down. Inhale. Test yourself if you're putting too much weight in that opposite leg. Kind of just give it a little micro lift and see how you're doing. Exhale left down. Let's make a little pillow for our heads, and we're gonna let the heels splay out, bringing the big toes to touch. Take some nice deep breaths here, relaxing the low back. Letting the legs relax, letting your spine relax. And we'll come back to set up for that again. This time we're gonna do double leg raises. So palms facing down towards the ground, chin is on the ground, you're looking in front of you. We'll inhale and lift both legs up. Not a lot of weight in the hands, really just using my back to lift. Again, if anything doesn't feel comfortable or good, please don't do it. Exhale down, we'll do this 2 more times. Inhale up, both legs. If this is too much for you, you can stick with just the single leg raises. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale, both legs up. Holding for just a breath. And exhale down. Great. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll inhale, pushing up. And exhale, come back into child's pose, Balasana. If it feels better to separate the knees, feel free to do so. And you can bring the hands alongside the body, extending the head out. And just breathing deeply into your back body. Slowly inhale, sitting up, rolling up, one vertebra at a time, bringing the head up last. So those are some great techniques that you can practice and follow along to help with back pain, specifically your low back. Make sure that you favorite the video so you can find it again in the future, and please subscribe to the Psychetruth YouTube channel. We have thousands of videos to help you in your journey in health and wellness. Thank you. Again, my name is Meera Hoffman. Have a blessed day.